What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Blunt Guy. Hey! And we are back with another One Piece chapter reaction. Today we will be reacting to One Piece chapter 1071. And the title of this chapter is A Hero's Offensive. Now, before we get into this chapter, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also, comment down below your thoughts on the chapter, your thoughts on the reaction. Follow me on Twitch so you can engage with me in real time and you could give me real time feedback. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And join the Discord. Come be a part of my community. If you want to be part of a future discussion stream, or you want to send me content to react to, or if you just want to engage with me, that's usually where I'm the most active at, is the Discord. So make sure you come be a part of the Discord. All of these will be in the description box below. So all right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. The chapter has released super early this time because we don't have an official release this Sunday, right? If you're watching, whenever you're watching this, right? From the time of recording, this Sunday will be New Year's. I want to say New Year's. There will be New Year's this Sunday. So we do not have a chapter on New Year's. But still, we got a chapter. What the release has dropped super early, right? Super early. It usually drop a few days before the official drops, but it's been dropped super early. So we're gonna get into it. We are going to get into it. Chapter 1071, A Hero's Offensive. Let's get into it. We do not have a cover story, at least not in the leak. We don't have a cover story, right? All right, chapter 1071, A Hero's Offensive. We see what looks to be Kuma, because it said Kuma's destination, right? He's like flying through the sky. So this further proves, right, even though it's already been proven, I guess now, thinking about it now, Kuma's teleportation thing isn't like an instant it's not really a teleportation. He's just sending you, and you still got to take the journey. It's not necessarily a teleportation, right? Even though a lot of times it does seem pretty instant, because like, especially if it's a short distance, it's going to seem more instant because he has less distance to travel. But back when we got the split of the Straw Hat, they did actually, remembering now, they did actually have a segment where you actually see them traveling in like the bubble. But yeah, so Kuma is, flying, traveling, being repelled towards whatever destination he is headed towards. And so we kind of make out him going towards an island. We don't really see it just yet, but it does look like it's something in the distance. I'm not too sure just yet. I kind of see a dome, right? So it's possibly, I'm thinking it might be Egghead Island. Based on the little I can make out. Because I see like a little dome sitting on top of like something tall, like a tower or whatever. All right. Okay, so this is a world government facility. It says Red Port, the base of the Red Line. And we see a Red Port, the base of the Red Line. So this is the Red Line he's at, right? Red Port, that's what it's called. It's the bottom of the Red Line. And okay, I see a clear, we see where it's at a lot clearer. We see it a lot clearer, right? And I see those domes, but we at least know where we're at. He's at the Red Port, the base of the Red Line. I don't know if this is his destination though. I don't think this is his destination. We see him crash into the red line because we see a big explosion in the red line, right? So I think he's just going through. He has to get through. He has to get past this red line, and he's just crashing into it. How thick is this red line though? Right? Like, can he actually make it through the whole red line? Right? If that's what he's doing, because maybe this is his destination. I don't think so though. I think it's just somewhere he's going past, and he has to get through the red line. But if he can get through the red line, that Paul ability is something else, right? If the red line does not stop his travel, his journey, then yeah, we gotta reevaluate this Paul fruit. We gotta reevaluate it. All right, so we got some people. They say it's Bartholomew Kuma. What? Where did he come from? Okay, so I guess he didn't make it through the red line. Yeah, I guess he didn't make it through the red line. The people say I heard he fled the Holy Land. What's he doing here? So we got Kuma on the ground, and and the people say he's meant to be the celestial dragon's invincible slave, right? I mean, Kuma is pretty adorable. I don't know if he's invincible, but I guess they call him invincible because when they was sticking all them swords, and it takes a lot of damage to really do anything with Kuma, as we seen, right? But I think he does have a threshold of how much damage he can take, right? It's just I don't think the celestial dragons are ever going to be able to actually achieve actually putting them down. I mean, maybe. I'm pretty sure they somebody in the Mary Joa could do it, right? They do got some strong guys, especially like guardians, people that like soldiers and stuff that could possibly handle Kuma if necessary. But I don't think he's invincible. And I guess I don't know if this is a Denden Mushi, somebody talking over Denden Mushi, or if they're talking over like an intercom. But someone's talking. It says section of the Northeast District, and then the people said, it moved." And we got Kuma. He's back on his feet, and people over the Denden, or whoever's talking over Denden Mushi, they said it's a former warlord of the sea. All right, so I don't like again. I don't think this is Kuma's final destination. This port, right? This port at the base of the red line. I don't believe it's Kuma's final destination. I think he was traveling. Like I thought he was trying to go through the red line, but he couldn't. The red line might just be too thick, like I said. And even for like his ability. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the red line disrupted his journey, right? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe maybe this is his destination, and something is important because we gotta remember this is the base of the red line, and he has a lot of history with Mary Joa, which is at the top of the red line. So maybe there's something at the red line he's trying to get, even if it's not Mary Joa, maybe it's something, at this specific island being at the base of the red line. Or maybe he has to go to Mary Joa and get something, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but my guess is he's on his way to maybe possibly Egghead Island, or where Sabo is, maybe, Lelugia Island, and he was just stopped by the red line. That's my speculation, because I don't know where he went at the base of the red line, and I don't even know where he went at Mary Joa, right? I don't know where he went at Mary Joa, but Sabo needs help, and possibly Jory Bonnie. He might go reunite with Jory Bonnie. So that's why I think it's either Lelugia or where Lelugia was, or Egghead Island. All right, so person on the Dendemushi or whatever they're speaking on says Bartholomew Kuma just appeared by the Bondola Gate. The Bondola Gate. Bondola Gate. Is that I wonder if that's the area where they take those lifts on top of the like how you enter Mary Joa, right? Like remember where we see Garp taking the fishermen, Shirahoshi and all the other fishermen to Mary Joa, they had that gate, right? So I'm assuming this is the island to get to the top of Mary Joa for like events like Reverie, or let's say if the Celestial Dragons are traveling, right? They're leaving Mary Joa or going back to Mary Joa. This must be the island where those Celestial Dragons take that lift. You know, that's what I'm assuming. And I would hate to live on that island, honestly. Like I'm leaving. I ain't trying to deal with these Celestial Dragons. Screw all that now. Screw all of that. I'm not about to just turn into a slave because some Celestial Dragon just wanted somebody new on the whim and he was just happened to be leaving Mary Joa. Just saying. The Dendemushi says deploy all available Marines to his location. Civilians, please be advised. He's extremely dangerous. Evacuate immediately. So we see Kuma just look in rough shape, bro. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's sad to see Kuma in this rough shape, bro. Like like I like Kuma, bro. Kuma's one of my favorite characters, so it's like, bro, come on now, come on, like, you know. But I hope he gets his. I hope he gets his. You know, I hope he gets some type of redemption upon him. Not like he needs to redeem himself, but I hope he gets some type of comeuppance, I guess. Right? Like maybe reunite with Jory Bonnie. I low key like I do hope he can be turned back into the normal Kuma. I don't think he'll ever fully be 100% what he used to be. So, you know, it is what it is. But I hope he could at least maybe gain some level of his conscience back, right? Like even as a cyborg, I don't think his body could go back to fully human. I think he'll still remain a cyborg to some degree, but I do hope Kuma could be fixed at the very least. Even if he can't be unturned from a cyborg, which I don't think you can, because you getting rid of all those body parts and replacing them with machines, which I don't think can be undone. I don't think you could install a heart back into somebody and it would just work exactly the same, right? Or other organs, I don't think you could just put back into somebody and expect them to work exactly how they worked before they were taken out. But I do hope maybe like Vegapunk has a program of Kuma's conscience, maybe. You know, like maybe he was able to upload Kuma's conscience onto like a disc or something. I don't know. Onto like a hard drive or something. I'm hoping. I'm holding out. The person speaking says he's a man with no shred of humanity. He may serve the celestial dragons, but his current purpose and programming are unknown. Do not approach. But I mean, his program hasn't been changed, so yeah. But they don't know that. They don't know that. They don't know that. So we go back to Egghead, the island of the future, New World, and it says lock down any and all possible escape routes for Vegapunk. And I'm assuming this is CP0 talking, and they say, "Yes, sir." So I'm assuming that's like Lucci or Kaku or maybe even Stussy. And if you notice, right? If you notice, Punk Records is at 100 right now. It's at 100, and I remember somebody pointed out like the number constantly changes, and my speculation is maybe it's like a security thing, right? Because we seen it constantly change, but when CP0 showed up and started, and then they went into like lockdown mode, like Vegapunk put Punk Records on lockdown mode. I want to say it was like 97 or something. It was like 90 something. The highest we've seen it up to that point, up till now, which is at 100. So it's just making me think that like that's kind of the security on the island, because each time they mention like securing Punkhead or not Punkhead, Egghead Island, it's always like they show that number, right? They show that number, and it's at its highest when they started trying to lock down Egghead Island. So I'm assuming that is a security protocol of some sort, right? Because if it's at 99, or if it was at like 99 before and now it's at 100, to me that's saying it's like 100% secure. You know, like the security is at 100%. You know, so that's just my takeaway. That's my takeaway. So the CP0 agents say destroy the ships if you need to, and then we see all the other Cypher Po agents. They say yes, sir. And then we got Lucci. He says, even with the Seraphim back under control, how are we meant to flush them out? This Frontier Dome is a real nuisance. It sure is a marvel. And then Stussy says, you're determined to ignore the Navy, aren't you, Lucci? And then Rob Lucci said, I refuse to accept Straw Hat as an emperor. Bro, I'm with you, Lucci. Or at least I was with you. I was with you. Now, not so. After Wano, not so much. You know, before Wano, when Big News Morgan, or before Luffy defeated Kaido, and what's the name? Big News Morgan. When Big News Morgan proclaimed Luffy as the fifth Yonko, I completely agree with Rob Lucci. I couldn't accept it because, bro, he had no actual qualifications of being a Yonko other than Big News Morgan's saying he was a Yonko. The man had zero territory. You know, he claimed Fishman Island, but Fishman Island was under Big Mom, and you gotta beat Big Mom before you go claiming her territory, right? And same with like what was the other territory he supposedly had? I think maybe Dressrosa, I guess. Dressrosa, Fishman Island were the two territories you could kind of say was semi his, because he, when they're claiming them, but he didn't beat the actual people who owned the island. So I couldn't give him that territory just yet, right? So he didn't have the territory. He didn't really have the prowess, as far as like he wasn't strong enough. He didn't prove that he could beat a Yonko just yet at that point, right? Like he couldn't prove he was on the level of a Yonko up to that point when Big News Morgan claimed it, right? One thing I would say he did have, though, that other Yonko had, was a fleet. He had like a crew, a big crew that's capable of, protecting territory that he will eventually have, But after Wano, I must bend thy knee to Luffy, because though you can say it was an asterisk, right? The victory was questionable. He still won that fight. He still, at the end of the day, he won in the end. So I gotta give Luffy. I gotta give it to Luffy. You know, he Gear Fifth proved very formidable, right? Like it was at a point where he was kind of toying with Kaido at one point, right? So with Gear Fifth, he proved that the he can scale up to Yonko. I still don't necessarily put him over Kaido just yet, because again, it was a lot of fuckery in Kaido's defeat. Let's be honest. Kaido was fighting continuously, right? He already beat Luffy like twice up to that point, right? Not only he pretty much killed Luffy at one point, and then Luffy then freaking evolved, and he did all of this while holding up Onigashima with his ability. Now, some people might say, well, you know, he wasn't, you know, like it was easy for him to, we don't know that, right? Like, and if it is easy, if Kaido wasn't using any stamina to hold up a goddamn island, that is a feat for Kaido, because he could pick up like land masses with no energy being wasted. But I do think it took a little stamina for him to lift that island. So, you know, Kaido was using energy and carrying Onigashima. He was also fighting the Scabbards. He fought the Supernova. He fought Yamato. He fought Luffy again. He fought Luffy, Yamato, and Momonosuke at one point. Man, the man was an Iron Man. He was fighting, bro. So I gotta see a fresh Kaido and a fresh Luffy. You know what I mean? That's what I need to see. I want to see a fresh Kaido versus a fresh Luffy, to see an undisputed fight. Let me take that back. I don't need to see that, because I think at the end of the series, Luffy will indeed be the strongest character. But I'm just saying, you know, I would need, at least at the moment, right, at this moment in time, for me to put Luffy over Kaido, I had to see Luffy beat somebody of Kaido's caliber, without any fuckery going on, right? Like, both y'all fresh. Luffy doesn't have any help. That other person doesn't have any help. It's just two, or even if that other person does have help and Luffy wins, it just makes Luffy look better, right? Like, this character level character, this Kaido level character with help is having trouble against Luffy, then I'll be like, okay, all right. Like, if Shanks need Ben Beckman to fight Luffy, and Luffy beat both of them, then look, you get no question from me. You get no question from me. Man, I went on a whole tangent just off of Rob Lucci not accepting Luffy as as a Yonko. But yeah, I say all that to say this. Yes, I do think Luffy is qualified to be a Yonko. You know what I mean? I do think at this point in the story, he is at least qualified at the very least. I don't know how the Yonko system came to be. You know, you still might need like to be accepted by other Yonko. I think, you know, like, you know, that might be where being a Yonko is. You got to have the respect as a Yonko from other Yonko. You know what I mean? But, you know, I don't think Big News, all I'm saying is I don't think Big News Morgan is the authority of installing Yonkos. You know what I mean? So somebody says to Rob Lucci, "You're hopeless." That might be Stussy. And so we cut back to the lab and we see Shaka looking at a monitor. And Shaka says the agents are attempting to block off all exits. They've probably taken care of the ships too. And Vega Force 01 can only fly on the island. Damn, the enemy is quite shrewd. So now we get like our first shot of all the Vegapunks, minus Atlas, because we know Atlas is damaged. So we, can't say all the Vegapunks, but majority of them, let's say. And then Lilith says, "Perfect. That means we get to avenge Atlas. I'm raring to go." And I want to say it's Pythagoras speaking. He says, no. They shouldn't even be able to get up here." And then Stella, the main Vegapunk, he says, "So they won't let us get away without a fight." And then we got York. Yeah, York. York says, "What's going on? Something fun." Shaka says, "Lilith, if all of you if all you've got in mind is another brainless attack, knock it off." And then Edison says, "Eureka, I've just thought up a new invention. Reckon it's gonna be a real cutting edge piece of tech." Man, that's all Edison cares about. Edison just cares about inventing stuff. And then Lilith says, "Why can't we retaliate against these fools? They're after our necks." I mean, she's right. We gotta give it to Lilith on that, though. I do kind of agree with Lilith on that. But you can't just go blindly fighting just out of revenge, though. So in that case, I kind of agree with Shaka. In defense, though, I do agree with Lilith if they're fighting to defend themselves. Lilith, she continues, "Fighting back is our objective. Ensuring the main body's escape is, as satellites, it's our duty to prioritize the stellar safety above all else. We may be expendable, but you running off," or Shaka says, "But you running off," or okay. So this is Shaka speaking, not Lilith. "But you running off on a vendetta will only cause us more trouble." Okay, so yeah, I'm really on board with what Shaka says. Shaka is completely right, you know. And then Lilith says, "That goody good act of yours really gets on my nerves." And then Shaka says, "That's too bad." Yo. Yeah, I definitely agree with Shaka on this, though. Y'all can't be reckless. Y'all can't just be fighting just out of revenge. The purpose is to protect Stella, the Stella body, the main Vegapunk, and help that Vegapunk get off the island. So, this just makes me believe that all the other Vegapunks are staying behind, and they might die. Honestly, like Lucci might, you know, break some necks. You know what I'm saying? Lucci might break some necks out there. You know. Vegapunk says, "Still, I'm so sorry, Sentomaro. That only happened because you're so loyal." Yeah, bro. Did he die though? Like I don't believe that Sentomaro died. Maybe he just passed out, but knowing CP0, if they're as smart as I believe them to be, they would just eliminate CP or Sentomaro, just so that's one person out of the hierarchy that could potentially be a nuisance, right? Because if Sentomaro still alive, he can always come back and be like, "I'm taking back the Seraphim." And if he decides that the only people on the side of the world government that can take the Seraphim back from Sentomaro would be the Gorosei. So in order to just eliminate that possibility, I would just eliminate Sentomaro if I was Rob Lucci. You know what I mean? And then we see Pythagoras. He says, "We still have another ally on this island we can call on. Should we?" Another ally. Another ally. There is another. This whole time, there's been another ally on Egghead that we have not came across. Now, now I want to do some speculation. You know what I mean? But we might be introduced to this guy before the end of the chapter. Aokiji, maybe? Nah, maybe not Aokiji. Another ally. Another ally. Garp. Maybe not Garp. We know. I don't think it's anybody in the Revs. Oh man, this bro. If we don't get an answer by the end of this chapter, this is gonna be something. We gonna be talking about this a lot, bro. Oh, this is gonna bring up so much discussion. So much discussion. Edison says, hold your horses, won't you? Be risking them too if we ask for help. They'd have nowhere left to hide if they're in the government sights too. So it's somebody who's in hiding. Somebody in hiding. Bro, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ah. Okay, all right. We gonna continue. Vegapunk says, "Be that as it may," and we see Vegapunk on the Dendenbushi says, "Hello, I'm in a big pinch. Please save me, Quasar." Yo, Vegapunk be willing to risk other people's lives just to be safe. Bro, he was willing to risk Tomorrow's life, his whoever this person is, the other Vegapunks, even though they're just, they're parts of him, so it at least makes sense for them. But my man got the backpack on. He ready to go. He is ready to go. Pythagoras and Edison says he asked so shamelessly. And then the person on the Denden says, "Of course, I've always been prepared for this order." Okay, so whoever this is, they're down. You ain't even had to ask, bro. You hardly had to ask. And Vegapunk says, "Wowza, looks like they're going to help us." And Edison says, "Escape should be easy as pie now. If we focus and make sure CP0 is kept busy, especially since the Stella has secured passage on the Straw Hat's ship." And then he says, "I'll take us to the port with Vega Force 01, says Lilith. Lilith says that. And then Shaka says, "I approve. Let's hurry." And they said, "Who put you in charge?" Okay, so this must be someone strong. If because Edison says escape should be easy as pie now. So I think that's like implying that whoever this is strong enough to take care of Lucci, you know what I mean, and CP0, you know what I mean. And they don't know about Kizaru being outside of the island. You know what I mean? So even with whoever this character is, Kizaru's still out there. Kizaru is still out there. So, they might not know that. They must not know that. If they think this is gonna be easy. If they think this is gonna be easy, they must not know that. But who could it be? You know what I mean? Bro, like now I'm just like, yo, who is this person? Who is this person? Must be somebody strong, most definitely though. Shichibukai maybe, right? Like could it be a Shichibukai, because we know Shichibukai are like they're enemies of the world government now, and the world government are after them. And this person seems to be an enemy of the world government in hiding. You know what I mean? So, Shichibukai, right? Like, now I gotta think about all the Shichibukai. We know Mihawk, Crocodile, and Buggy. They're all working together. So I don't think it's none of them. Doflamingo's in hiding. Boa is at Amazon Lily as far as we know, and she's not, at the very least, she's not hiding, right? She's at home, you know what I mean? Gecko Moria is with Blackbeard. Law, who used to be a Shichibukai, is fighting Blackbeard, right? Eh, am I forgetting somebody? I feel like I might be forgetting somebody in the Shichibukai who could be a possibility. You know what I mean? I think I feel like I might have said all of them, but so Vegapunk says, "Well, folks, I'm all packed. Please take the 7 of us to your ship, Quasar." And Usopp says, 7? You're all coming? And then Nami is like, what? That sounds like a pain. Bro, Nami has not been with this, bro. Nami does not like this whole idea of Vegapunk being part or being on the ship, bro. Like last chapter, Nami was like, "Oh, you sound like you're just gonna hold us down and stuff." Like Nami's not with it, bro. Like, come on now, Nami, don't be dumb. Vegapunk could help y'all. Vegapunk could be very helpful, and just think how Vegapunk could probably help your climb attack, even though you got Zeus. So I don't know if Nami really needs any improvement. He could improve upon the ship. He could help Franky. He could teach Franky some stuff. If Franky knows more, that means Franky benefits the crew more. So I'm just saying, man, y'all got this could be a good opportunity for the Straw Hats in general. And then Franky says, "I don't care so long as Lilith Chan tags along. I'd ship it. I'm not with the ships. I'm not with shipping people, but Franky being a cyborg, right? Lilith being, I think Lilith is more of an android though, so I don't know if she has any organicness to her, right? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe she was once human before and she died and Vegapunk turned into a cyborg. Which we never actually got an explanation on the satellites. Like we at least the human looking ones. Are they fully mechanical? Are they all like androids, or is Lilith and Shaka cyborgs, and Atlas and also Atlas and York, are they also, I think Atlas is more mechanical. But what about York? Is York, Lilith, and Shaka, like, are they fully mechanical, or are they like partially organic, right? Cause hey man, Franky might got his little thing. And Franky continues, hell yeah. A voyage with 7 faces of the world's best scientists. I didn't think all of them would be going though. You know? I didn't think all of them would be going. So it is what it is, I guess. I don't know if I like the idea of. I feel as though it's gonna be too many people on the ship at this point. You add all those 7. That's like 17 people right there. Yeah, including Jory Bonnie, because I don't know how Jory Bonnie is getting off Egghead. So you got that's 18. 18. 10 Straw Hats. You know, the 7 Vegapunks, right? And then Jory Bonnie, that's 18. Correct me if I'm wrong, yo. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm doing that kind of off the top. I might be missing something. There might be something I'm missing. All right, so we cut to the lab interior. And somebody says, "Wait, wait, wait, wait. Bonnie, hold up." And then we see Jory Bonnie with this it's this weird looking face. She says, "That Vegapunk, to think he stooped to using bugs against me. That's what you're mad about?" I'm assuming that's Chopper or Luffy asking. That's what you're mad about? I mean, it wasn't. He didn't do that. You did that when you turned that light on, and then by or Luffy says, "Hey, I promised to get that old timer out of here in one piece. Don't beat him up." And then we hear something beeping, beep, beep. Luffy says, "Hmm." And we hear the beep, beep. And it says, Labostratum Frontier Dome defenses are now offline. The Frontier Dome is offline. So that's like the intercom thing speaking. And Shaka says, "What? Why? Who would disable it and for what purpose?" Good point. Who would turn that off? And then Lilith asks, "Is someone in the control room?" And Pythagoras says, "No, our detectors aren't picking up anyone." Hold on, what's going on? Who's doing this? Is this Kizaru's doing? Maybe maybe he's using his light ability to do some type of manipulation. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And Rob Lucci says that was sudden. If those deterrents are really down, this is a golden chance, Lucci, says Kaku. And then Lucci says, "Wait, it might be a trap. Doesn't this malfunction sound a little too convenient?" Hey, I mean, it does, but they don't know. The Vegapunks, they don't know what's going on. So it's like, but I could understand Rob Lucci's reservations. So like, I wonder who is doing this. Is this like Kizaru's doing? Did he like use his light ability to manipulate some stuff? You know what I mean? Like, is this a devil fruit? Is this that mystery person? Because maybe he did this in order to leave so he can stop whatever's happening. You know what I mean? I'm kind of banking on the mystery person. You know what I mean? The person Vegapunk called, because maybe when Vegapunk called him, he was like, "You know what? I'll take care of it." So he shut down the defenses so he could leave, possibly. I don't know what other explanation though at the moment. Maybe we'll get an explanation later in this chapter. Okay, so now we're at the top of Egghead, right? Where the little egg, the little cracked egg is open, right? And we see Kaku, Lucci, and Stussy all skywalking. But I also see like a little figure. Like if you look at like the teeth of the egg, right? Like the little broken shell part of the egg, which is supposed to be like a broken shell, right? If you look at the if you look right in the middle of the egg and you look to the left of that one, I'm gonna call it a tooth. It's like a sawtooth or whatever. If you look to the left of it, we kind of see a figure. It looks to be a figure. Oh, you know what I think that is? I don't think that's a figure. I think that's the Sunny. It looks like a ship. It looks more like a ship. So it looks like the Sunny. So it looked like they're going to come in contact with Luffy or Zoro and Brook. So we might get Zoro versus Rob Lucci or Zoro versus Kaku again rematch. Brook versus, it might be like Luffy versus or Zoro versus Lucci and Brook versus Kaku. I would actually like to see that because Kaku is a swordsman. Brook is a swordsman. Kaku also is pretty strong, right? Like he's probably like the right under Rob Lucci. When we back in the CP9, back in his lobby, Kaku was like under. He was like the second strongest, if I remember correctly. I don't know where he's at when it comes to CP0. I don't know because we haven't really seen much of the other CP0 agents. I don't even know if Rob Lucci is the strongest CP0 member. I think he is, but I don't know. Like we haven't really seen much of the other CP guys, CP0 guys. But I think Kaku could be a good fight for Brook though. You know, I think he could be a good fight for Brook. But so CP0 Kaku says, see, we've gotten this far and it's fine, right? And then Rob Lucci said, for this to happen with your life at stake, the heavens have abandoned you, Vegapunk. And then I think Stussy, I think this might be Stussy. He says, isn't that the Straw Hat ship? Yeah, that's kind of what I said, right? I thought that was a person at first, but I think that definitely is the Straw Hat ship. Oh, and I didn't even see the Vega Force 1 to the right of the ship. But they say, wow, there's a robot here too. And then Lucci says, we've already taken care of all the ships down below. Now we've just got to destroy this one. And then Kaku says, leave it to me. And then we see Kaku with that I forget what that's called, like a tempest. Oh, but he says it. I was going to say tempest kick too. I forgot what the move was, but I remember it as like tempest kick. But you know, he confirmed what it is. He said tempest kick, sky slicer. And so we see this this kick wave, like this wave kick, whatever, coming at the Sunny. We already know what's gonna happen. I already know. You know, we know who's about to stop this slice coming. We know it. We know it. Mr. Zoro himself. Mr. Zoro himself. Bruh, I ain't gonna lie. I seen what was going on. It's just dope. We see Zoro sleeping, right? This man Zoro is sleeping, and we see him blowing snot bubbles. And mind you, Kaku has already sent this kick, right? He already sent this slice, and Zoro is sleeping, and he just gets up. He gets up, and you hear some rustling, and you see like a little circle right next to him. It's kind of like maybe I don't know if it's like observation haki. His observation haki like activating, and this is just Oda's way of showing it. I don't know. Oda's never really done that before, but you see kind of like a little light bulb kind of go off. Not a light bulb, but like a little something. I don't know what that is. And then you see Zoro pull out the sword. And then this man Zoro stops the kick. And then Kaku says, what the? Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. Kaku, yeah, bruh. You done ran into your old nemesis, Kaku. Your old the man who beat you before. Yes, sir. So it looked like we might get Kaku versus Zoro rematch. Possibly. So what I'm thinking, what it seems like we might be setting up, because how I see it is just Zoro and Brook at the ship, but there's 3 CP0 agents, and it's looking like Oda's about to set up the rematch for Kaku and Zoro. So what I'm thinking, we're gonna get that rematch with Kaku and Zoro. I wonder why Oda doesn't want to do Zoro versus Lucci though. Is Lucci is this Oda saying that Zoro can't beat Lucci? We just have to see how this fight goes with Kaku and Zoro if they do fight though. Because if Zoro dog walks Kaku, then I might be more inclined to say that Zoro probably could beat Rob Lucci at this point as well. But if Zoro has a tough time against Kaku, I think we might have to start questioning if Zoro is superior to Rob Lucci at this point. Just saying. Which is weird because I was watching the stream. I was recently watching the stream. Dak Saki, shout out to Dak Saki, where him, I want to say Kev DOG, or Kev, or was it Kev DOG, right? Him, Dak, Kev DOG, Preach, and it was a couple other people. They pretty much did the dirt. They each made lists of their 30 strongest characters in One Piece. And Zoro, they had higher. I know they had Zoro. Most of them had Zoro higher than Rob Lucci. So, you know, we might have that. That might come into question depending on how these next two chapters go. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So Pythagoras says, Shaka, I've got the Frontier Dome back online, but the CP0 agents have already infiltrated. Shaka says, damn, we were too late. They'll target the Straw Hat ship. That is true. And so now we see Zoro and Kaku clash. Kaku is going straight and kick for sword with Zoro, right? And his leg ain't sliced off. So Kaku got some sturdy ass legs. I will say that. And I don't think the difference of Kaku and Zoro has I don't think it's spread that much, because I feel as though if Kaku was still training and fighting, and you know, if he was still active, I think his progression probably would have been similar to Zoro's progression. You know what I mean? But Zoro also did get trained by the legendary, the GOAT, Mihawk. So someone says, indeed, they're already fighting a crew member that was guarding it. If we don't hurry and back him up, we'll lose our ride out of here. And then we see Lilith. She has like some type of ray gun or something. I'm not too sure. And she says, well, will you look at that? We get to go to war after all. Oh. Bro, Lilith has that Black Air Force energy, and I'm liking it, bro. I'm liking Lilith might be my favorite. She might be my favorite Vegapunk. If we being serious, Lilith might be even with the real Vegapunk, she might be my favorite Vegapunk. I like Shaka too. I kind of like the Daft Punk mask and everything, but Lilith is probably head and shoulders the best Vegapunk. You know what I mean? I do like the real Vegapunk as well, though. So questionable between them two. And then we see Sanji. He says, And then I'm assuming as Luffy, Chopper, and Jinbei and Bonnie, they say, hey guys. And then Nami says, Luffy. And someone says, huh? Luffy says, we're already leaving? But we just got here. Come on, let's not rush this. Luffy want to explore somewhere. I don't even blame him, bro. I feel like we didn't really get to see everything that Egghead has to offer. And Chopper says, it's noisy out there. And Usopp says, I want to stay too, but we can't help it since this is a government island. And Nami says, you already bumped into that Rob Lucci guy, right? And I'm not sure who's talking. I think it's somebody off panel. They say, I know. But oh wait, you haven't seen Bonnie, have you? She's a pirate. Lady with long hair. I wonder who said that. I don't know who asked that. Who asked that? And Robin says, now that you mention it, where's Vegapunk? And then we see somebody we see Vegapunk. Yeah, I could tell that's Vegapunk. He flying away with his shoes. And he says, Gaia, stop it, Bonnie. We're in a rush here. I'll explain. Just hear me out. And Bonnie says, shut up. And Vegapunk says, or no, Bonnie says, "Can you turn my dad back to normal? Yes or no?" And then Vegapunk says, "No. Sorry, I just can't, but there's a reason for that." Oh boy, Bonnie gonna make this whole thing. She gonna make this thing difficult. She gonna make this thing difficult. We cut to somewhere in the waters of the new world, and we see what looks to be Kid's ship, and what looks to be like another. I don't know if that's another ship or if it's like a fish or something, but it's like Kid's ship is facing a fish, a big fish, and they say, "Whoa, isn't that fish bigger than normal?" And okay, so yeah, definitely is Kid because we see Killer. He's like reading a piece of paper, and Killer says, "Kid, wake up. We're near land. Should we go look around?" Kid says, "Are you really asking that? When have I ever passed on exploring an island?" "I know," says Killer, "but this island is probably," and Killer says, "the home of the giants Elbath." Okay, Elbath. Kid says Elbath. Okay, we getting some Elbath magic right, or we getting some Elbath stuff right here. But bro, we are getting some Elbath stuff. That's dope. I'm excited. I'm glad we getting an update on what's going on with Kid. I didn't think we would be cutting away. Well, we have kind of been cutting away from Egghead, so that's yeah. I didn't think we'd be getting anything about Kid this soon though, but we are getting confirmation about Kid arriving at Elbath. What is good, Kid and El? So now we might actually get some Elbath stuff if we stick with Kid for a little bit. But then again, I don't think so. I don't think Oda's gonna. I think Oda's probably gonna wait to Luffy get the Elbath before we get some Elbath stuff. So Luffy going to Elbath, meaning we'll get Kid and Luffy at Elbath. I don't know if we'll get Law at. We'll probably get Law like after Elbath sometime after we Luffy runs into Blackbeard again, possibly. But man, so it looked like we might get something where it's gonna be Kid and Luffy hanging around each other for a good period of time, right? So it's dope. That is dope. I'm excited for it. Oh damn. So I seen something and somebody posted this on the Facebook. I thought it was like a fake panel, but it's real. Like it's real. So I was spoiled. I was spoiled on it. So okay. So we go to G14 Naval Base. And someone says, "You're such a troublemaker, Vice Admiral Garp. Monkey D. Garp." Hey, it's my guy, man. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Garp. I've stated before, I believe Garp is the best written character in One Piece. I'm talking about best written character. You know, I could go into I could explain, but if I explain, I'm gonna explain after the stream, not now. But yeah, bro, we got Garp. Garp is in the building. Yo, it's always great to see Garp, bro. Like anytime I get a chapter where I get to see Garp, that chapter just the stocks of that chapter just boosts. The stocks of that chapter boosts. We talking about Luffy's grandpappy. Monkey D. Luffy's grandpappy, the man who made Luffy who he is. Uh So someone says we're about to head over to Egghead, or we're about to head over to Egghead. We can't spare any of our men. And so we see somebody, or we see Doll. She's talking to somebody on the Den and they say, "Don't be like that, Doll." Blah. I think she okay. So I think she's talking to Garp. I think she's talking to Garp. She said, "This isn't a joke. You want to launch an offensive against an emperor. Have you cleared this with the top brass?" Is she talking to Garp though? Because it looked like Garp is at the base, so I don't know why she would be talking to him on the. Oh, okay. I kind of looked a little forward, so I get it. He's on the coast, but so yeah. So where was I? So okay, so we got the Dendeng, we got Garp's Dendem Mushi. So that is definitely Garp she's talking to, and Garp says, "Huh? Why would I? You've been in the Navy for how many decades with that attitude?" Hold on. So this is Doll talking to Garp. She said, "You've been in the Navy for how many decades with that attitude?" And then Garp said, "Blah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Besides, I'm already here." And then Doll says, "You're what?" And then we see Garp ship right outside of G14. And and Garp says, "Helmeppo, get out here." And then they said, "Is it a pirate attack? What do they want with Helmeppo?" And they said, wait, that's Vice Admiral Garp ship." And Helmeppo says, "Vice Admiral Garp? Whoa, really?" Or "Whoa, I really wanted to see you." And then Helmeppo says, Kobe, Kobe went and got captured by Blackbeard, and I couldn't do anything to help." And then Garp says, "Quit whimpering. It's hard to watch. Just get on board already. We're going to head to Hachinosu. Let's beat the snot out of those pirates and save Captain Kobe." Vice Admiral Garp. You see Helmeppo bawling out in tears. And I forget the one girl's name. I forget her name, but supposedly, there's theory she's Akaino's daughter. Um, it says the hero of Marines, Garp. One Piece, chapter 1071, end. Bruh. That's how you end the chapter right there. That's how you end a chapter. You end it with the OG. The OG. The father. The original Monkey D. The original. The OG Monkey D. Not Monkey D. Luffy, not Monkey D. Dragon. We talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Monkey D. Garp. That's who we talking about right now. And he is outside of G14 like, "Hey, I'm about to roll up on Blackbeard. Come on, Helmeppo. What's good?" So, bruh, great chapter. Great chapter. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So much stuff to talk about. Oh, man, so much stuff to talk about. All right, so first we start out with Kuma. Kuma flying through the thing. We don't know where his destination is, but he happened to crash into the red line. I don't know if where he's at is his ultimate destination or if he was just trying to get where he was and the red line just stopped him. I don't know which one is the case because we still don't know his destination. But he ends up in this town, which is pretty much like the gateway to Marijoa, right? Like I want to say that's the town you go to when you're trying to get to Marijoa or when you leave Marijoa and you take those lifts. I want to say that's that town, right? But Kuma, that's where Kuma is, and he's going somewhere. Just don't know yet, right? Don't know yet. I don't know if this is his ultimate destination, but if it is, what's there? Is he trying to get the Marijoa? Is like that's his goal to get the Marijoa, and if he's going to Marijoa, what's at Marijoa that he is after? You know. Now my other guess is he's not trying to get the Marijoa. He is trying to get the either Egghead Island, or he's trying to get to wherever Sabo is. Maybe go save Sabo somehow. Like, I don't know how he would know Sabo's in trouble, but I mean, let's say if he intercepted that order to destroy Lelugia, right? Like, let's say if he intercepted that and he know that Lelugia was meant to be destroyed, and he remembers sending Sabo to that island. Maybe he's trying to save him. He's like, oh damn, that's if Kuma is in his right mind, which it don't seem like Kuma is in his right mind, right? So I don't know if that's the case, but there's also the we know that Jory Bonnie's at Egghead, so maybe he's trying to go back to Jory Bonnie. I don't know. But yeah, Kuma, that's a mystery right there. That is definitely a mystery of what Kuma ultimate goal is. So we cut the Egghead Island. CP0 is trying to figure out how to get to Egghead Island, and Vegapunk is like, "Hey, let me call this dude up. We got somebody on this island who's an ally, and he could possibly help us get out of this situation. So I can save myself. I'm gonna sacrifice him, so like I did Sentomaru, to save myself, right? And that's Vegapunk is a little slimy. Vegapunk is proven to be a little slimy. He's a little slime ball, but yeah. So he calls him up and be like, "Hey, I need help," and whoever it is, who we don't know, they agree to do it. Right now, we're talking about like who could it be? I kind of have an idea of who it could be. I said it might be a character who we know of, but we haven't seen him in the current timeline, right? And that person, I believe it to be, I think it might be, or it could be, Scopper Kaban. Could be Scopper Kaban, right? I think it's been overdue that we met Scopper Kaban, right? Like, we know Rayleigh came, trained Luffy, and helped Luffy and everything. Now Rayleigh also helped Luffy awaken his haki and everything. So, could Scopper possibly help Luffy as far as helping Luffy learn awakening or master awakening? Maybe not. I don't know if Scott. I don't even think Scopper has a devil fruit, so he might not even know how to master awakenings. So I don't really think that's the case. On the other hand, I do have an idea of why it's Scopper, right? I'm starting to get real Sabaody vibes here, right? I'm getting a lot of Sabaody vibes. Remember Sabaody? We had Kuma, right? Kuma kind of split the Straw Hats. Kizaru was also after the Straw Hats in Sabaody. Who stepped in to allow the Straw Hats to escape from Kizaru, though? Rayleigh. The right hand to Goldie Roger. Egghead Island. We know Kizaru has shown up, and he is going to try to be a hindrance again to the Straw Hats. Now, a lot of people are expecting maybe a Kizaru versus Luffy fight. And before this chapter, I kind of agreed. I believe that too. But I don't think, now that we know that we got this mystery guy, and I'm kind of thinking Scopper, I'm kind of thinking this is going to be mirroring Sabaody, where Kizaru shows up, tries to stop the Straw Hats, and guess who shows up to stop Kizaru again? Not Rayleigh, obviously. Not the right hand to the old Pirate King, Goldie Roger. Instead, the left hand of the Pirate King, Goldie Roger. I could see him being the one to interfere, play that interference role to stopping Kizaru, to allow the Straw Hats to escape. So Now that's just my speculation. There's other people you could probably kind of name as well, but I think Scopper kind of, to me, I'm getting real Scopper energy right now, just because it mirrors Sabaody so much with this Kizaru showing up to try to stop Luffy and catch Luffy in the Straw Hats. But now you had the right hand man do it in Sabaody. This time you had the left hand of Roger do it, right? Uh, and that would, to me, this would be the best way to introduce Scopper into this story if Scopper is still around and alive, and he is going to be a part of the story eventually anyway, right? And you think about it, Rayleigh kind of held down. He kind of did that in the Grand Line. Scopper does it in the New World. So I kind of like that idea. That's kind of my theory on who it could be. But that's something that's going to be that's going to be a good discussion for the future discussion stream. So I'm gonna save even deeper talking to that for later. So yeah, so somebody let the defense system down, right, which allows CP0 to show up. We don't know who that is. I'm guessing it might be this mystery person that Vegapunk asked for help, because maybe he felt as though in order to stop CP0, he has to be able to get out by letting the security down. So that's kind of my thing. And if it is Scopper and somehow he did get a devil fruit somehow, like at one point, right? Maybe he does later. Maybe like if he meets up with Luffy again later in the story, maybe in Elbaf or something. Maybe he teaches Luffy to master his awakening. And why do I think if it's Scopper, he might have a devil fruit? Whoever this is may have a devil fruit. Is because Vegapunk made it a point to point out, like, hey, is somebody in the control room to, pretty much turn off the security? Nobody was in the control room. So whoever did this had to do it remotely. And I think in order for them to do it remotely, it might have been like a devil fruit ability to have them do it remotely. And, like I said, if my speculation come true and it is Scopper, how did he release the security, right? Maybe with a devil fruit. I mean, maybe it's possible with Haki as well, though. That's possible. That's possible. So yeah, everybody they're planning to leave, right? They're planning to leave, but Jory Bonnie starts chasing Vegapunk and Vegapunk's like, look, I can't do nothing about Kuma. I can't do nothing about Kuma. So, we know that Vegapunk can't reverse Kuma's cybernetic transplants and everything. And also, CP0 shows up. They enter Egghead Island, or the lab part, right? And Kaku tries to destroy the Straw Hat ship, but guess who is there to intercept Kaku's attack? It is no one other than Roronoa D Zoro. Yes, he's not a D. I just said that. But yeah, so Zoro stops the attack, and now it's looking like we might get a rematch between Zoro and Kaku, possibly. So we get to see how far Kaku has come, Which, again, I don't think Kaku's... I think it could be like a mid to high diff fight with Zoro versus Kaku. Not extremely high diff, maybe like a low high diff. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But that's what it's looking like, right? So how does Zoro fare against Kaku and Lucci if Lucci decides to intervene in this fight with Zoro and Kaku? Does Brook stop Lucci? Can Brook stop Lucci? What about Stussy? Does this mystery person come and help Zoro and Brook? He might be the one to have released the security, so, it's possible. So, yeah, we also get some Kid stuff. Kid is at Elbaf. He's finally arrived at Elbaf, possibly to meet Jaguar D Saw, the man marked by the flame. And then we end this chapter with Garp showing up to G14, pulling up saying, look, we going to Hashinosu to go get Kobe back, bro. So Garp, even though I thought Garp was retired, but maybe Garp came out of retirement to go help Kobe. Maybe he heard what's going on with Kobe. So he's like, hey, you know, I'm going to help Kobe. I'm going to come out of retirement because I got to help my subordinate. I can't let Kobe go out like that. You know what I mean? Especially to somebody like Blackbeard. So we know that Garp's plan is to go to Hashinosu and go. But the thing is, Blackbeard might not be at Hashinosu. So when Garp pull up, the island could either be empty or maybe it's free pickings to rescue Kobe. Maybe Kobe's there and Blackbeard's not. So Garp end up having to fight like Shilu or something. I don't know. You know, like he has to fight one of Blackbeard's subordinates. So again, is potential in the Blackbeard versus Garp or Garp versus, I don't know, Shilu, Burgess, Jesus Burgess, whoever, right? So man, you know, it's looking like things are about to get super spicy. That's all I'm gonna say. Things are going to get super spicy. But hey, we're starting 2023 off with some extra spice, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We're getting that extra spice this year. It's looking like this year is going to be a good year for the One Piece manga. And I'm all for it. I'm here for it. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much all I got for the chapter. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also comment down below your thoughts on the chapter. What did you agree with me on? What did you disagree? What did I miss? Let me know down in the comments. Also follow me on Twitch so you can engage with me in real time. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook if you want to get at me directly. And you can also get at me directly on Discord. So make sure you join the Discord. Come be a part of my community. If you want to send me content to react to, that's what the Discord is for. If you want to become part of a future discussion stream, that's what the Discord is for. And if you just want to be part of a One Piece community, that is what the Discord is for. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got for the chapter. It's your boy, Sean P. The Bluff God. I'm out of here. Peace.